You can chant Om or or Mo, which is Om backwards, or any sound you like, okay? Just to be heard by the group. Okay, so I'll start. Om. Okay. Hi, Harmony. We're going around each person chant something. I'm sorry. I just was saying hi to Harmony.
I think, Leslie, if you tell us who goes next, because sometimes the order is different on our screens,
Okay.
I think, from
well,
yours.
Well, on my screen, how about Sandra?
I was starting. Oh.
And right after me, was that Elizabeth? I wasn't sure.
No, it was me.
Oh,
Marty.
it was Marty. It was beautiful. Okay. Rebecca. Elizabeth. Harmony.
She's muted.
And is Dottie there? I don't see her. Let's see.
It looks like her audio is not working.
Oh, okay. Val. Hi, we're just chanting one syllable of your choice, and each one gets to chant, and it's your turn. Thank you. And hi. Welcome, everyone.
Sorry, I was late.
No, that's all right. So who did not chant a syllable?
I didn't.
Okay. Oh, yes, Patty, please, you get to chant. Lovely. Thank you. Is there anyone else? Okay, so everybody got to make a sound. All right. Did everyone receive, and were you able to, do you have a copy of the invocations to Ganesha?
Is it in your book?
It is actually. I made it a handout like this, but it's in the book on page 70. Okay. So and actually the handout has 3 short ones, and you don't even need to read.
Here, you
really.
can just listen. Here, it's on. Here. Yeah. You just listen without even being in there.
Hi, Dot.
Hi.
Would that be Dottie coming in?
Yes, I was trying to come in, but now I'm on a phone.
Oh, okay. Well, I can hear you. Can everybody hear Dottie?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, welcome, Dottie. I'm so glad you joined us.
Thank
Thank you. So it's a little tricky. Normally, when everybody's on the computer, when we all chant together, everybody gets muted except for one person who gets to chant out loud, and then everybody else chants along with, but they have to be muted, otherwise it's just crazy.
Okay, well, I want to be muted at all times because I don't know these chants.
Okay.
Can you, babe, take, I have papers in there. You still have her on there, and I don't want to, you know. Okay.
Leslie, are you gonna mute us or do we mute
I'll do it.
ourselves?
I think Patty can, but sometimes we unmute, we mute ourselves. Patty, what's it like today? What do we do?
Yeah, well, I didn't know if Dottie was having a problem because she's on a phone. I can mute Dottie, but everybody else can control their own muting because I can't unmute. I can only mute.
Thanks, Patty.
If you forget, I'll mute you, but you have to unmute yourself.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, great.
I'm just going to listen the first time anyway.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll mute you now, Dottie, okay?
All right. Did anyone not get this handout, the invocations to Ganesha that I'm showing? Did you all, so you all have it? Great. Okay. Now, I just want to point out that I'm co-teaching a big workshop with Mary Riley up in Northern Michigan. I wish I were going to be there, but it's all being Zoomed. And the theme is Ganesha and the removal of obstacles. And I was making a handout for that workshop, and they have in the second line with the 4 lines, Vakratunda Mahakaya. In my book on page 70, it's right there. And in the second line reads, Koti Surya Samaprabha. And actually, I noticed when I was typing this out, there's a mistake in my sacred booklet. I don't know how we missed it, but we did. Prabha, that last letter A in the word Prabha has to be long. So if you have a pencil handy, go ahead and draw a horizontal line over the letter A in your book. And it's already there in the handout. But the word order is changed because the co-presenter for next weekend wanted it that way. So, and I've heard it both ways. So we're going to chant it, Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha. Just be aware, just be prepared for that. But I thought we would start with the simpler chants that are at the top of the page. And again, if you did not get the handout, all you have to do is listen and you'll get this. So I propose that I will chant the first line, Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, 3 times, or I'll do it 4 times. That way, if you want to just listen the first time, join in the second, third, and 4th times. And then we'll do the second one that way, and then the 3rd one. And let's see how it feels. Okay, so go ahead and mute yourselves, and Patty, if you would kindly mute Dottie. I see Dottie's muted. Okay. All right, here we go. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Moving on to the second one. The second one. Om Ganganapataye Namaha. Om Ganganapataye Namaha. Om Ganganapataye Namaha. Ganapataye Namaha. And finally, another single phrase, salutation. And this one, I printed it out without the Om, so we'll just start with the Shri. Shri Maha Ganapataye Namaha. Shri Maha Ganapataye Namaha. Shri Maha Ganapataye Namaha. Shri Maha Ganapataye Namaha. Let's unmute. So, would you like to chant one or two or all three of these? Or if you have one favorite one, chant that one and maybe chant it twice or 3 times or 10 times if you like. Who would like to chant? And you can choose one of those or all of them, or you can choose them in a different order.
I'll chant.
Okay, thank you, Val. Oh, yes, and Back is there. Hello, handsome. Oh, he's so handsome. Mr. Sphinx.
Yes, he is. Om Shri Ganesh. Sorry, let me try that again. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Shri Maha Ganapataye Namaha.
That was nice.
Yes, and introductions. Val, have you met Marty yet? That Marty was signed up earlier, but I don't know if you actually attended before. And Dottie Zevin. So this is Val Schneiderman.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, Val.
And that was beautiful, Val. That was really beautiful. The only thing I would say is, Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha.
So I love that.
That one has to be long. I think you went Ganeshaya. It's
Yes, I
Ganeshaya. Yeah, that has to be long because of the grammar.
Ganeshaya Namaha.
Ganeshaya, Ganeshaya, Ganeshaya.
Can I do it one more time?
You may. Yes, I'm going to mute.
For indulging me. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Shri Maha Ganapataye Namaha.
I really enjoyed that.
I thank you for clarifying the first one. It was the one I was unfamiliar with. The other two I'm a little more familiar with.
Ah,
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, it's nice to have these options, isn't it? Yeah. Would someone else like to chant any of those? It's really nice to hear your voice, Val. It's quite beautiful.
I'll try, Leslie.
Yes.
Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Ganganapataye Namaha. Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. I don't think I had the notes exactly right.
The notes were different from how I did it, but they're, they're not wrong. And actually, everyone, for those of you who don't know Elizabeth, Dottie and Marty, actually, we should introduce each other all around. The others know Elizabeth, and Elizabeth and I met in the Vedic chant intensive with Sonia Nelson and Deborah Green, and we were roommates. And when we chant with them in Desikachar's tradition, we almost always go up a full note, whereas I went up a half note. And when we're used to one way, it's a habit, but I don't know that there's a right or wrong. The only thing I know is that the pronunciation has to be correct. So I was enjoying that. Vive la différence. Does anybody have a comment about that? How it, it can evoke a different feeling for sure. Sometimes when we go up a higher note, it might make me feel more awake or more active. And maybe when we go up only a half note, actually, let's see if we can try this. Let's just do the third one. I'll do it, and I'll do it two different ways. And let's just see when we chant, if there's a difference in the feeling that it produces. Okay? Is that clear as mud?
No, it's Leslie.
Okay, I'm gonna pick number 3. Okay, so I'm gonna do it one way 3 times and join in when you're comfortable, and then I'll do it another way 3 times and join in when you're comfortable.
Should we mute ourselves?
Yeah, good idea. That way you can chant as loudly as you want. Okay. Shri Maha Ganapataye Namaha. Shri Maha Ganapataye Namaha. Shri Maha Ganapataye Namaha. And now a different way. Shri Maha Ganapataye Namaha. Shri Maha Ganapataye Namaha. Shri Maha Ganapataye Namaha. Kindly unmute yourselves. Give me feedback, response. What you liked, what you disliked.
For me, when we do it with a half note, it feels more meditative. And I actually was trying to do it the same way that you had done it, but kind of the old pattern took over. So I guess that's just my observation. It just felt more meditative to do it with a half note.
I think, wait, am I unmuted?
No, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good, you're good.
I think actually just sort of from that musical standpoint, you're in the traditional Vedic way, it's very minor. right? You're hearing a minor sound. And then when you do it the second way, I think is actually a term, it might be called a Picardy third, when you then end with that major, when you go up the whole step. So it definitely leaves you with a different feel, I think, in my opinion. Yeah.
Me too.
But I agree with the meditative, like, and maybe I'm just more used to that, staying with that Vedic sound, to me is more in the zone.
Interesting. Anyone else have anything to say about just how you immediately responded to the difference in tone? It was really just one note that made the difference.
I really couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah.
Sorry, Leslie.
I felt like the second version was more grounding. It felt more grounding, and maybe it was the way
That's
you sang it.
interesting. That's interesting. Just an observation. There's no good way and bad way, as long as the pronunciation's right. Does anyone else have anything to say? Let's go to Vakratunda. I was listening to a recording of Prashant Iyengar, and he was leading a class, and this is how he began the class before the invocation, Yogena Chittasya. And it sounds sort of like this. So I'm moving on. I'm starting with Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha, salutation to the gurus. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha, Harihi Om. Vakratunda Mahakaya, Surya Koti Samaprabha, Nirvighnan Kuru Me Deva, Shubhakaryeshu Sarvada. Vakratunda Mahakaya, Surya Koti Samaprabha, Nirvighnan Kuru Me Deva, Shubhakaryeshu Sarvada. Vakratunda Mahakaya, Surya Koti Samaprabha, Nirvighnan Kuru Me Deva, Shubhakaryeshu Sarvada. Who's familiar with this chant? Is anyone familiar with this? Is it new to everyone?
No,
I'm familiar with it, but the last line, the way I learned it was different.
How can you chant for us how the last line goes?
Yeah, Vakratanda Mahakaya, Surya Koti Samaprabha, Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva, Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada.
so you chanted that in Mysore, right? Did you
Yeah.
learn it that way? Because that
I learned it in Mysore, but also yeah, like from people who learned in Mysore, not just from Lakshmish, but from another Sanskrit teacher there.
okay, because I did learn this chant from Lakshmish, the exact way that you did it. So it sounds
Yeah,
familiar, so.
I think it's more, maybe it's more South Indian, but that's definitely the way I learned it there from
And so
a couple different teachers.
Yeah, that's great. So the meaning shifts slightly for sarvakaryeshu sarvada, all in all actions, always. You know, that's emphasizing in all actions, you know, non-negotiable. Whereas the shubha is a word, actually shubha sometimes is meant to mean Shiva because they both mean auspicious. Shubha karyeshu sarvada, is auspicious in all actions. And so this translation that I put in the book, I believe I borrowed it from Manorama, who probably got it from her teacher, Sri Brahmananda Saraswati. I'm not sure. O Lord Ganesha of the curved trunk and massive body, the one whose splendor is equal to millions of suns, please bless me so that I do not face any obstacles in my endeavors. And sometimes the title is Vandana Trayi. Vandana means salutation or obeisance. Trayi means threefold, a triad, epithet of the sun or Shiva, three. Shri is prosperity, majesty, splendor, luster. Vakra means crooked. Vakratunda, the crooked trunk of the curved trunk of an elephant. Maha, great. Kaya, body. So, oh, thou with crooked trunk, curved trunk, and massive body. Koti, the highest point or the pinnacle of excellence. Surya, the pinnacle of excellence in all that Ganesha does and is. He's equal to the light of, she says, a million suns. So sama, even equal. Prabha, the light, the splendor, the luster, effulgence. The splendor of the sun, equal to the splendor of a million suns, let's say. Nirvignan, no obstacles. Kuru, make. So we're imploring him to make. Kuru, may. So make me, or O Deva, radiant one. Give me the auspicious, give me auspiciousness in all my endeavors to all actions, something like that. And Harmony and Val and anyone else who's studied in the Mysore tradition or Ashtanga yoga, do you have any, or anyone at all, do you have anything to add or argue? Or we can have different interpretations for sure. So he's a beloved remover of obstacles, and the stories in the Puranas of Ganesha are quite beautiful. There's a famous one of he is the son of Parvati, who is Shiva's wife, and I'm a little sloppy on the story, but there is one story that Shiva was away and was not aware that that there was this son, Ganesha, and he had a completely human form. And when Shiva came home, Ganesha wouldn't let him in. He was protecting Parvati, his mother. And they had a fight, and Shiva lopped off Ganesha's head. It was a human head at the time. And then Parvati was so distraught, she was inconsolable. So Lord Shiva had to go out and find a head for Ganesha. And so he went to Airavata, who is Lord Indra's elephant. And Airavata apparently gave his head, or it was stolen from him, and that was put on Ganesha's head. And he's always had the elephant head. And the broken tusk, some say in some stories it's due to the fight, but in others, the broken tusk is because he took it off in order to write down for Vyasa the entire Mahabharata. So it was with that other tusk that he wrote all that. So does anyone have something to add or subtract from that? My apologies, that was a gross interpretation, and I can hear my colleague Bob Gilbo just shuddering at my perhaps lack of accuracy. But do you all have that book? It's a book called K-A. There is some story of Ganesha in that. And I learned from my friend Bob, who's he's a devout Sanskritist, and he studies all the time at Columbia and with these people at Oxford. He said that in India, the book called Ka is something that they love, that the Indians love that one. So if you have that book, rest assured that your colleagues from India will approve. Let's put it that way. Well, should we chant it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, here we go.
But you're chanting, we're muted, correct?
Yeah, first time around. And then I'd love to have somebody else chant. And Harmony, I'd love to have you chant again if you like. But let's just do it again. Try to catch this melody, but if you're used to a different one, that's absolutely fine too. This is not Vedic. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Harihi Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Shubhakaryeshu Sarvada. Who would like to chant that? Val, would you like to? It could be a different melody.
Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hare Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Shubhakareshu Sarvada.
Beautiful. Really lovely. Just Shubha or Sarva. Karyeshu. Get the Y in there. Karyeshu.
Subhakareshu. Kareshu.
Karyeshu.
Karyeshu. Karyeshu.
That's a difficult one to do quickly because the tongue has to go Arya. Karyeshu.
Karyeshu.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. I like the other melodies as well. Would someone else like to just chant this or say it? Sometimes it's nice just to hear the words spin off. Or would you like to go more slowly? Or are there any places, is there any particular line that you'd like to go over? It's a mouthful.
Yeah. Can you just say the last line again?
Yes. Shubha, Shubha, Karyeshu. So I'm going to put those two together. Shubha Karyeshu Sarvada. Sarvada. What a fun line, because we get all the sibilants in there. We start with the second mouth position at the soft palate. Isha. So everyone say Isha. And then say Shubha. Shubha. And then in the next word, Karyeshu, that Yeshu, that Sh requires that the tip of the tongue curl to the middle of the hard palate. Karyeshu. Shu. So let's say that twice through. Karyeshu. karyeshu. And then finally, the dental sa, which is a result of the tip of the tongue aiming towards the front top teeth. Sarva, sarvada, always. Sarvada, sarvada. So put those 3 words together and we get Shubha karyeshu sarvada. Shubha karyeshu sarvada. Shubha karyeshu sarvada. And the other way, we don't get to do the second mouth position sha, because it's sarva karyeshu sarvada. That produces a different feeling. So if we do that 3 times, sarva karyeshu sarvada, sarva karyeshu sarvada, sarva karyeshu sarvada. I find that a little easier. It's kind of nice to start at the dental and then return to it. It's like coming home. The other is a challenge. Oh, those sibilants. Keep on being muted. Let's just, well, you know, Harmony, would you chant it again, please? And the rest of us will mute, and then we'll try and follow with the melody that you present.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute.
Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Shubhakareshu Sarvada. Again? Okay. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Shubhakaryeshu Sarvada.
Thank you. That was beautiful. By the way, Harmony, I did receive your email, and I'm sorry, I've put together a packet to send you, and I would you please send me your mailing address again?
Yeah,
So
no problem.
I apologize. When the power
Okay.
went out and we had no internet,
Chaos ensued.
I was gone, but it's back. So everyone, let's see, I propose that before we leave this, we go through the whole page, because we want Lord Ganesha to know that we mean business. And so would anyone like to lead us in all of this or part of this, so we can switch off? Actually, it'd be fun. Why doesn't one person lead us in Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha? A different person lead us in Om Ganganapataye Namaha. And a third person lead us in the third one. And then somebody else lead us through all the rest. How's that? So, up for grabs. Who would like the first one? Okay, thank you. Rebecca takes the first one. Who would like the second one?
I'll do the second one.
Oh, Patty.
Okay, Patty, you want to do the second one?
Sure.
I'll do the third one.
Okay, Harmony does the third one. And who gets to do the whole shebang here, the mouthful? Sandra, want to give it a go?
The whole bottom one?
Yeah. Or if you don't want to do the whole bottom one, we could, why don't you
I'll
do,
try.
you want to do the whole thing?
I'll try.
Okay, all right. So we have our parts. Everybody ready? I'm going to mute. Ready, set, silence.
Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha.
Om Ganapataye Namaha.
Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Vakratunda Maya. Suryakoti Samaprabha. Nirvignam Kume Devo. Shubhakalishu Sarvada. Not too good on the melody.
Brava, everyone. Kudos. Now that the obstacles are removed, let's move on to Laghunyasa. And then, of course, at the last minute, Leslie, I'll have it, but Marty and Dottie may not have it, the Laghunyasa. And I emailed it to the whole group. So Marty and Dottie, do you have it? Are you able to get it or no? Let's all unmute for a minute.
I didn't get the email list.
Okay.
Is it in the book?
No, it's in a Vedic chant book.
Oh, sure.
Do you happen to have Mantra Valli by Desikachar?
I have the book, your book.
So we've been working on this for a little bit. It has several verses, and it's a beautiful chant for requesting that all of the aspects of our being be strengthened and nourished in accordance with the elements that correspond to it. So let's see, Elizabeth, how are you doing? Would you like to start us off and chant maybe all through the moon part?
All through the moon. Okay.
And we can, if you know it, let's chant along with her, but we'll be muted. Well, actually, that handout has a little bit more. Well, let's just go through the moon. To the moon.
Okay.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Om Agnirme Vachi Shritaha Vaghṛdaye hṛdayaṁ mayi ahamamṛte amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi vayorme prane shritaha prano hṛdaye hṛdayaṁ mayi ahamamṛte amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi surya me chakshushi shritaha chakshur hṛdaye hṛdayaṁ mayi ahamamṛte amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi Chandrama me manasi shritaha mano hṛdaye hṛdayaṁ mayi ahamamṛte amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. That flowed out. So for those of you who've never heard it before, well, for those of you who have heard it before, would anyone like to chant it, or do you want to respond to what you heard? Or were there any difficulties as you were going through it with Elizabeth? That was really nice, Elizabeth. It flowed like the Saraswati River, like the Ganga River, like the Yamuna River, like the Hudson River. It was really nice. Let's see, who haven't we? Rebecca, would you like to chant any of it?
Sure, I'll chant.
You can either chant all the way through the moon or any parts, or you can pick.
Yes.
You know, if you feel you need help on, you know, on your breath, then you can do the prano one, or if you want help with fire, do the first one, or
Right.
just,
I think I'll do the fire.
okay.
Fire. Agnirme vachi shritaha hṛdayaṁ mayi ahamamṛte amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi.
That was lovely.
I love that one. Hṛdayaṁ.
Yeah.
hṛdayaṁ mayi. There's something about that that's like so comforting.
Yeah.
It's all the ahamamṛte, amṛtaṁ, brahmaṇi. It's, I don't know what sounds, but it's
Amṛtaṁ.
very
So
comforting.
for those, yeah, thank you, Rebecca. I'm thrilled because I think this is why I love chanting, just because of the way the vibrations come back, you know, how they make me feel. Really, chanting, I think, is wonderful to hear, but it's especially wonderful to do because we get to feel that vibration coming through our body. And Marty and Dottie, because you're new today, and hopefully you'll be continuing. So if you noticed, everyone, there is a refrain. I'll call it that. And I'll just chant that again. I'll just chant that for you. hṛdayaṁ mayi ahamamṛte amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi. So that refrain is literally hṛdayaṁ mayi. Hṛdaya means the heart. The heart in me. Mayi means, it's locative case of first person singular, me, I. The heart in me. The heart is in me. And then ahamamṛte, I, who has the heart in me, I am in the nectar of immortality. So amṛtaṁ means nectar, and it also means non-death or immortality. And amṛte gives the locative ending. So I am in that nectar of immortality. And then amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi, that nectar is in Brahman, the eternal source, that which was never created and therefore can never be destroyed because it always is. So we keep returning to that refrain after each time. And agnirme, fire in me, vachi shritaha, may my speech be nourished with the fire. And then my heart in me, I am in the nectar, which is in Brahman. So would someone like to chant the next one? Vayurme. Anyone at all? Any takers? Sandra, would you like to?
I'll give
So the
give it a
volume,
try.
actually, let's just have the meaning beforehand, because many of us like to know what we're chanting. So Vayu is the wind. So the wind in me, may that keep my breaths and my energy nourished and strong. And that breath is in my heart. And my heart is in the nectar, etc. Okay, now you go for it. And everybody chant along as you are muted, if you like.
Vayurme prane shritaha prano hṛdayaṁ mayi ahamamṛte amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi. I forgot the melody.
Do you think you can remember the melody if you repeat it right away?
Vayurme no, I'm lost it.
Okay, keep yourself unmuted. So I'm unmuted too. So repeat after me, Sandra. And everybody else can repeat as you are muted. Vayurme prane. Just that. So Sandra, go ahead.
Vayurme prane shritaha.
Good, but it goes prane shritaha. So the whole line, just listen to the whole line. Vayurme prane shritaha. Try that, everybody.
Vayurme prane shritaha.
Oh, it's so close. It's so hard. Prane shritaha. Dari dari ri. Prane shritaha. Do that from Brahma. Do that 3 times.
Can't get it. Vayurme prane shritaha. Still not right.
Prane shri.
Prane shritaha.
Prane shritaha. Prane shritaha. Yes. Let's try it all a little higher.
Shritaha.
That's it. Good.
Yeah, the shriek goes down.
Yes. It goes down.
Okay.
Try it one more time. The whole. Sorry.
Vayurme prane shritaha.
Yes.
Prano hṛdayaṁ.
Good.
Hṛdayaṁ mayi ahamamṛte amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi.
Brava. Yeah. Except in brahmaṇi, that's short. Brahmaṇi.
Brahmaṇi.
You got the melody. That's great. Thank you. Who would like to chant the next verse?
Can you
I'll
just
do this,
say again what shritaha is?
Shritaha.
Yeah, what is that?
Can you help me? Shritaha. I have a vague idea that it has to do with strength to nurture or to strengthen, but
okay.
I'm really not sure. And Elizabeth, if you know, let us know. Shritaha. It's important because it recurs every time, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was curious about.
I'll have to do some digging this week and see what I can come up with.
Yeah, I always thought what you said was correct. That's just like nourishing, but I don't know that for sure. If I can find, I have a translation in here. If I can find it, I'll mention it.
Wonderful.
I just have in my notes from when we've done it before, like under the fire one, you use, like we use the word supports or nourishes
Yeah,
for that.
supports or nourishes.
Yeah.
It's something that has to do with giving us the benefits so that that particular organ or that particular task, organ, speech, or whatever is enhanced. So
I have effects is in my notes, effects,
effects, yeah, and strengthen.
in addition to what Rebecca said.
And I like the word support too. And I'll also go through and see what happens. I could always just email Deborah, but she gets she gets cranky sometimes. Who would like to chant the next one?
I'll do that.
After Vayome, so it's what is it? Suryome.
I'll do
Patty, would
either,
you-
Val. I'll do either the sun or the moon. I don't mind. If you would rather do the sun, I'm fine with doing the moon or whatever you want to do.
I'll do the sun. It's wicked hot here all day today.
Make peace with the sun,
Yeah.
right?
Trying to, yeah. Finding the shade and making peace with the sun at the same time. Suryo me chakshushi shritaha chakshuritaye hṛdayaṁ mayi ahamamṛte amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi.
There's such a nice flow in your voice, really nice. There was just and here in Vedic chant, because we learned it a particular way, the svara or the notes, what goes up and goes down is very important.
Always where I make, always. This is my downfall.
No, it's your,
Oh, wherever I go, it just happens.
it's your teacher. It's an interesting karma, isn't it?
So I know
A fun
last time we were practicing at the end of last week, we were practicing the little gymnastics of the tongue with the chakshushi shrik.
Right. Cha, again with the cha and the two sibilants.
So will you do your beautiful?
Oh yes, okay. So would you like to chant it again, Suryome, and is everybody fine with the chakshushi? Chakshushi, and remember chakshuhu means sight. So we're calling upon the sun to give us sight and to enhance and support our sight. Always may we see, even at night when the sun's not there. It's there, but it's not there. Anyway, yada. So anyway, it's chakshushi. Everyone just say that.
Chakshushi. Chakshushi.
Sounds good. Okay, now, okay, so Val, you do it, and I'll be Leonard Bernstein.
And we'll see if I can follow you. Suryo. Sorry. Om. Or would you give me a note?
Yeah, Om. Yeah, if you start with Om, and then here Sur. Let's see, where are we? Yes, so Sur. Yes, so Sur is the same note as Om. So go ahead and establish your middle note by chanting Om, and then say Sur and chant it.
Om Suryo me chakshushi shritaha
Shritaha.
shritaha
Okay, again, from the beginning.
Om Suryo me chakshushi shritah chakshurhridaye
Chakshur hṛdaye.
chakshurhridaye
Chant that again, just that.
chakshurhridaye
Start at the beginning from Suryo.
Suryo me chakshushi shritah chakshurhridaye
That was perfect.
chakshurhridaye
Chakshur.
hṛdaye
It was perfect until that shur.
chakshurhridaye. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, chant the hṛdayaṁ mayi, and we can all chant with you when we're muted.
hṛdayaṁ mayi ahamamṛte amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi.
Start over. So,
hṛdayaṁ
hṛdayaṁ. So, hr starts in the middle.
hṛdayaṁ mayi ahamamṛte amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi.
Thank you. Thank you. That was lovely. Okay, Rebecca, are you
Shall I?
doing the moon?
Oh, I'm doing it. The
Oh,
moon.
sorry.
That's
Patty,
okay.
you do the moon.
Right.
And it
An
must
honor to be
the
confused,
moon
Rebecca.
lovely up in Maine. Okay, I'm gonna mute.
Well, it's a new moon, so there's not much to see. Chandrama me manasi shritah mano hṛdaye hṛdayaṁ mayi ahamamṛte amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi.
That was beautiful. The your refrain, or the hṛdayaṁ mayi, was spot on. Now, you got the low notes, but you got them so low they were lower than they should be. They were beautifully low, though. That
It's like trying to get the low ones. It's like I don't want to go low there. So it's like what Val was having a learning session with just
we
before.
all had a recording of this. I have recording. So just listen once. So, Om Chandrama me manasi shritah mano hṛdaye. So try it, Patty. Do that. Start with Om so you establish where the heck you are, And then on your Chandra, Surya started right at the same pitch as Om,
but
in
down.
Chandra, it starts lower. Okay.
Om Chandrama me manasi shritah mano hṛdaye.
Good. There was just one that was off, and it was your first May. Chandrama me manasi shritah. Chandrama me. Everyone. Chandrama me. Again. Chandrama me. Chandrama me. One more time, please, Patty.
Chandrama me manasi shritah mano hṛdaye.
You smiled. That means you knew you were off.
I know.
But it was right. Still there. One more time.
Well, now
so
I'm messing
close.
up Manu. I know I'm going really low there, but then I tried not to go low just then and it came out wrong. Okay. Om Chandrama me manasi shritaha mano hṛdayaṁ
Now chant.
mayi ahamamṛte amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi.
Good. That was good. Just we have one. It is yummy to chant amṛtaṁ, but we have to be a little strict with ourselves. We have to apply our tapas and know that it has to be amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi. So just so you know, I mean, we can indulge sometimes, but so would someone else like to chant something from here? Or everybody chanted something. Harmony, did you chant something? Would you like to chant again? I can't read. Now my memory is off. Okay. Marty and Dottie, how are you doing? Are you still there? Would you like to chant anything?
I could try that last line.
Yes, do the last one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Om Chandrama me manasi shritaha mano hṛdayaṁ hṛdayaṁ mayi ahamamṛte.
Okay, all right. That was really close. It's so close. And you know, sometimes when we get really close and we go off on one pitch,
Yeah, it throws you off.
It's almost worse. So just listen again. Om Chandrama me manasi shritaha mano hṛdayaṁ mayi ahamamṛte amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi. Try it again. See what happens. Start with your Om, because Om gives you something. You know.
Om Chandrama me manasi shritaha mano hṛdayaṁ mayi ahamamṛte. How do I do that middle one? ahamamṛte. I always want to go down there.
Yeah, and then,
I'm trying to go up, but my voice is going down.
Yeah, and because it started off wrong, and I think that set you up.
Maybe.
So, yeah, it's if you take it from, well, just from the beginning of Chandrama me, really, because, so here we go. Chandrama me manasi shritaha mano hṛdayaṁ. And then hr starts at the same as ye. So I'm going to repeat hṛdayaṁ, hṛdayaṁ, hṛdayaṁ mayi ahamamṛte amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi. You want to give it one more try?
Can I just try the last line?
Absolutely.
I feel like I kind of really lose it when I get to the last line.
So let's just do the last line.
Okay. Hṛdayaṁ mayi for some reason that word really mixes me up. Ahamamṛte
That was it. Ahamamṛte. But you set yourself up incorrectly in the beginning. So so if you start with an om, and it's om, I'm going to raise the pitch a little bit. Om hṛda. Just do that. Everybody, just do that. Om hṛda. Now I'm going to let you do it, Harmony, and we'll all do it muted.
Om hṛda.
Now do the whole thing.
Om hṛdayaṁ mayi ahamamṛte. I don't know.
So that's tricky. I think what's throwing you is the pronunciation and the tongue articulation, and when to ha and when to the and then that's getting mixed up with what the heck the pitch is.
Yeah.
So
if I can make up my own tune, it'd be fine.
You're right. And you can, but not here.
Leslie, can I just, so when we, like a while back, when I think you first introduced it, you had a chant page that only had the last line, and it looked like this, and it has the last line sort of in a more separated, a little bit more separated, and I think, I don't know, if it's probably in there. Do you remember where this one is, Patty? It has a bunch of chants, but it has just the last line.
Yeah,
I
can kind of separate it.
Oh, I think that's an old one from like before we started doing this.
It's so long ago, but
Hold on, let me
it's
see what I
how
can
you,
find.
the first time you taught us this,
Oh, I have
only
it.
taught us the last line.
Yes.
And so maybe if you send that one to Harmony.
I'm going to send it to you
only
WhatsApp
the
right
last
now, Harmony.
line.
Okay.
And I'll redo it.
Patty's sending it.
I have it. No, I found it, but I don't have a document. There's no like actual PDF or anything. It's just a paper in my binder, but I do have it.
I'll
So I'll just take a picture.
Take a picture
I'll
of
try to
it.
find that PDF, and it should be in my computer somewhere, and I'll otherwise do it again.
And the reason why I'm sharing it is because I think this was so like trapped in my mouth in so many ways the first time we did it, but then like Rebecca was saying, once it kind of became something, not that I can chant it perfectly, but once it kind of became it was sort of in you, it's just so delicious. It's so it's just so beautiful. It feels so good to chant it. So Harmony, you need to just trust and go with it a little longer, because I think it feels so good to chant that last line, the whole nectar bit, the whole.
Yeah, I like it. That's why I want to. I want to memorize it.
I'll be happy to type that up all by itself with
somewhere.
a few other small things. Yeah.
Or
Can you do the transition one more time, Leslie, from the mayi aham? I feel like that's what kind of gets me, the e to the ah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not like a natural transition. Well, I was just going to say one thing. Sometimes where I've had a problem in a word like that is when I don't see the syllables to where they go with one another. And then that's when I look at it and I have trouble with putting it together, and I don't know if that's of help in it or not.
Yeah, like I feel like there should be some sandhi there or something, because two vowels don't really ever go together, so it's really throwing me off.
Okay.
Like, shouldn't it be like?
And
I
typed it out the way it was presented to us, and I think there is a reason for that. Are you talking mostly about the ahamamṛte?
Like the transition from the mayi to aham, like it ends up with an I and then it starts with an A. And so I feel like there needs to be like a sandhi or something there. Like
No, because we take a breath. We take a breath, and it's a totally new phrase.
But like in Sanskrit, the vowels never really go together without combining.
That's true, but they're not. From hṛdayaṁ, mayi, ahamamṛte. Did I not? All right, I have to look at the handout. I have so many different ones. I've lost track, but I have to look at it. I might have typed it out in. You're absolutely right. We're not supposed to. Whenever there are two vowels together, they have to merge. But that wasn't the point here. And maybe I forgot. I neglected to put danda there. The one I'm looking at has a danda after mayi. So I'll go back to that. I might redo all of this, but we take a breath after mayi. So it's hṛdayaṁ, mayi, breath. Ahamamṛte. So the ahamamṛte is totally separate from hṛdayaṁ, mayi. They're two separate phrases. They're two separate thoughts.
Leslie, maybe it would help if when you type it up, if you have actual separate lines instead of the dunda there, like to just force you and your eyes are starting over on a new line. So it's hṛdayaṁ, mayi, and then a new line, ahamamṛte, a new line.
Yeah, I
Right?
think I will do that. Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I don't. It's fine. It's not like confusing. I'm just curious because you don't usually see two vowels together like that.
Yeah,
So
that was my
curious
big
if there's like a
mistake.
combination sound or something.
Yeah, no, that was a big mistake. I have to go over that, and I will redo that because that was unforgivable of me to do that, and I don't even have it in front of me, and I'm not even sure.
But
what
I
it
think
is.
Harmony is more talking about the sound rather than like
Yeah,
way
just
it's
the
typed.
sound.
Just talking
Yeah.
about like to go from
Sound.
mayi, ahamamṛte is confusing.
Then all
to
you
the
need
mouth
to
and
do
brain.
is make sure you take a breath after mayi, and
Okay.
put a little pencil mark, a little faint vertical stroke. Hṛdayaṁ, mayi, breath. Ahamamṛte, and then another breath. Amṛtaṁ, brahmaṇi. So, hṛdayaṁ, mayi, breath. Ahamamṛte, breath. Amṛtaṁ, brahmaṇi. And then when we get used to it, when the correct way, it becomes first and second nature to us, then you start to speed it up, and then it doesn't become an issue because it's already in you.
Can you say it really fast for me?
I'll do my best. Here we go.
Okay.
Om hṛdayaṁ, mayi, ahamamṛte, amṛtaṁ, brahmaṇi. I did take little breaths. Hṛdayaṁ, mayi, ahamamṛte, amṛtaṁ, brahmaṇi. I think it's always permissible to take a breath even when you do it fast.
Okay.
Do you want it faster? I don't think I can do it fast. Hṛdayaṁ, mayi, ahamamṛte, amṛtaṁ, brahmaṇi. Suryo chakshushi shrita. Kind of fun that way. It wakes us up in the morning. Do it fast in the morning and do it slowly in the evening.
Could it possibly be that the reason there's no blending is because they're two like different notes? Because one's up high and the next one's really down low.
It's that it's a different phrase. It's that it's a complete, right? Like you're saying, it's almost like it's a complete thought. It's a complete phrase. It ends and the next begins. So it isn't blended because it's not meant. It's
they're different phrases.
Yeah.
So, and the taking of the breath tells us.
Yeah.
It tells us. It indicates. Okay, another thought. The heart is in me. I am in the nectar of immortality. That nectar, or the nectar of immortality, is in Brahman. Those are the three statements. Oh, thank you for your message, Elizabeth. Bye. See you next time. So I think I'll look at the handout and I'll redo it so that it's as clear as can be.
Does the mayi go up? Is the I an up sound?
Yep, the yi goes up.
Okay.
Mayi, hṛdayaṁ, mayi, hṛdayaṁ, mayi,
Okay.
ahamamṛte. So that's why those chant marks are there.
Yeah.
The
I
horizontal.
just couldn't tell if it was a dot or a line over the I.
That's the font in my computer. I'll have to make it
That's
larger.
fine. I just couldn't. I
know,
wasn't
'cause
100% sure. hṛdayaṁ mayi ahamamṛte amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi.
So close.
Getting better.
Amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi, amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi. So is down. Amṛtaṁ brahm. So everybody, you could go.
Amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi.
Brahm. So everyone all together, just do this with me. Amṛtaṁ brahm. Amṛtaṁ brahm. Amṛtaṁ brahm. Amṛtaṁ brahm. And then I'll tag on the rest. Amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi. Amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi. Amṛtaṁ brahmaṇi. Clear as mud?
Yeah, that was helpful.
Oh, we can wade in the mud together. This is fun. You know, it was when I was doing the Vedic chant intensive course, I was with a lot of people who had learned this and other chants, and I was the low person on the totem pole. But my Sanskrit training got me climbing high on the totem pole, if you will, sooner. But in the beginning, I was like, huh, what is this? And it was hard. But then it was the first chant that I was taught in a group of beginners like myself. And this has now become, for Elizabeth and me, you know, it's like kindergarten. But once upon a time, it was like trying to get our doctorate with only a kindergarten's diploma. You know, it's like crazy. So you're all reminding me that this is tricky and this is not easy in the beginning.
Yeah.
Once it becomes in you properly, it's a wonderful tool. It's a wonderful tool to have, you know, a tool in our toolbox.
The first time, I'll just share, like when you were teaching, Leslie, when we were working on this at first, I had that same thing. I would just look at that and be like, where am I? I don't get this. And I had it out a different way. I don't know. It was very confusing. It was very confusing. And then there's just that moment that you go, oh, okay, I get it now. So I definitely, first time around was crazy. But it's all good. But I'm sorry, I also have to go now. So I just want to say thank you. Namaste.
Namaste. I'm so glad you were able to join us again.
See you next week.
Okay. And before we sign off, everyone, is there any request, anything you'd like to do? Anyone at all? Anything that your heart longs for?
I like this chant. I think it would be nice to keep working on it.
Okay. Good.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
it's really
I'm glad to
beautiful.
hear that. Yeah. Yeah. And it will bring such satisfaction when it finally comes. And it is coming. It is. We'll just keep with it.
Yeah, I've never heard it before. It's really pretty. I like the words too.
Yeah, I do too. Thank you for that, Harmony. That's good.
Thank you, Leslie.
All right. Thank you, Sandra. And give my best to Jack.
I will do that. Thank you.
Well, should we just all chant Om for an ending?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Let's all chant Om. Our deepest, most heartfelt Om. Om.
I think, Leslie, do you know the Guru Stotram?
The Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu.
Yeah, and it's like really long, like so many verses though.
Yes, and that's
whole
in the
thing?
booklet that I'll be sending to you. It's in the chant book.
Okay, yeah,
think
that I'd
it's
like to learn
actually-
that one too.
Okay.
I mean, I know
We
some
did that
of the
earlier.
verses, but it's nice. It's a nice one to
On.
chant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we chanted. There was a couple verses I saw,
Yeah.
and also I'm
It's in
sorry
the-
to miss last week with. Did you do the Sri Shankaracharya from the Yoga Saravali? Is that what it was, or is that Krishnamacharya?
Actually, I don't know. Did we didn't
Oh, that.
cover it, did we, Pat? But
No,
that was
I just did the first verse and then the second to last verse. It was just instead of the regular.
It's really long
invocation.
chant too, but
yeah.
I know.
but it's nice also.
Yeah, we didn't like practice it. I just
You
I
sent
wanted
it,
to
I
try and
saw.
do it. Yeah, the shorter version. Yeah.
Yeah, the first one and the last one, was it? Or
Yeah, I think it's
near
the,
the
I think
end?
it's the second to last or the third to last verse, but the first verse
Yeah.
and then I love
Yeah,
that.
that's beautiful too. Yeah.
Yeah, they are beautiful. Yeah, I think it would be nice to work on the entire Guru Stotram.
Yeah, there's so many beautiful verses in it.
And if anybody owns the Shubraji, hang on a second.
It's
she
on
has-
Spotify. The red one,
yeah,
Leslie?
the Subra Lakshmi chanting it.
Well, her name is Shubraji, and she has,
Subraji.
it's called Shloka Mala.
Oh, okay.
And she has a wonderful rendition of the entire Guru Stotram. And then she produced another chanting CD. It's this one. It's also really good. And I think she has a website called namahom.org. So NAMAAM.org. So Namaha. And actually, if you just Google Shubra, SHU.
Oh, yeah. Shubraji.
Shubraji.
Her
Yeah.
voice is
This is just
so
this is a
beautiful.
fabulous,
Yeah.
wonderful CD. All right,
Last
it's my
week we
favorite.
did the couple of verse from the Gita.
Yes.
The Jayate Mriyate Vakara. Yeah, so that's been with me all week.
Oh, good.
Nice.
And let me know if you'd like to do a Bhagavad Gita verse. We'll do one next week. It's always nice. It sings so beautifully. I mean, it's a song. Gita means song of the Lord. So let me know if you have if there's a verse that speaks to you, and we can chant anything from that Bhagavad Gita.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Harmony, so nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you
Yes.
too, Mallory.
Yeah.
And Marty and Dottie, it's really odd not seeing you. Can you name now, Marty? Can you
Can I what?
reveal yourself? It just would be nice to see you.
I don't think I know how to do that.
All right.
See ya.
Next week.
Next week.
Les, will you send us the handouts?
Yeah, and Patty, if you wouldn't mind sending to Marty and Dottie the whole file thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's in that last email that I sent. There's a link to the Google Shared Drive, it's called. And then within
Is there?
folder,
Okay,
it's
great.
everything we've ever worked on since whatever, April. When we started.
Thank you.
And there's also videos of the classes too, which I'm trying to
all right.
make a note of what we're doing in each class that it's hard to go back to.
Yeah, and I can also send any of the handouts, of course, because they're in my computer as well. So, yeah, but we should all have that. And I'll create a new handout for the May, the Laghunyasa.
Yeah, this one was actually okay. I was just confused because it's difficult to like stop and then like inhale, and then I have to remember to do that because I want to try and combine them somehow. And then,
yeah.
and
Trying
then
to
it
do
like gets me,
pranayama, Harmony. You're trying to do
Yeah.
pranayama when you're chanting.
it gets me confused, you know, because I'm trying, then I put too much emphasis on either side of the word instead of like stopping and starting again.
Yeah, I think stopping and starting again is a great tool to just to untangle a mess and figure out what's what and let the tongue proceed, because it's a lot. It's Vedic chant training is so wonderful because we learn so much about precision of pitch, precision of tongue articulation, and it's challenging but worth it, I think.
Yeah,
Especially with
like
this
little tongue
chant, so
twisters.
Yeah.
So pretty.
Oh, good. I'm so glad you like it.
Yeah, it's lovely. Okay, well, have a great week.
All right.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Bye,
Bye.
Les.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Marty.
Goodbye.
Thanks,
so much, Marty.
Patty.
Well,
Marty
my
and Dottie,
pleasure.
how was this for you? Was this good?
It was different. It was different than I thought it was going to be. I thought we would all chant together.
Well,
But
you can understand why we don't do that.
I guess you tried that and it doesn't work. And I don't know what I thought, to tell you the truth.
Good. It's good not to think sometimes.
You know, but I've worked with you for so many years that it's always wonderful to work with you.
I love you guys.
Namaste. Ciao, Bella.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank
Come back
you.
next Tuesday.
I'll
Patty,
see
I can't thank you enough.
Oh,
Thank you.
just
Enjoy
your sharing
evening.
I know. Go take a walk on the beach now and chant into the ocean.
Yes. Oh, wonderful. Okay. And
Thank
say
you,
hi to
Leslie.
that daughter of yours who had the cucumbers.
Oh, Winnie. Yeah.
To Winnie, right.
I will. I'll tell her you said hello.
They must be having the time of their lives. I'm so happy for them.
It's nice to be here and swimming and bike riding and seeing cousins and stuff. So it's
Like
lovely.
normal life. Yeah. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you next time.
Great
Namaste.
evening. Namaste.